we're so grateful that the world has such a profound reaction to injustice of any kind, because it really, at the end of the day, it's not about black or white. It's not about one's religion. It's not about any of those things. It's a matter of having the capacity to recognize right from wrong. There are so many people who have been killed. We know about Breonna Taylor. We know about Ahmaud Arbery. We know about George Floyd. But there are countless others. Horrific to watch someone so callously take another man's life. And what starts to happen is now you have an opportunity to understand and to witness what African Americans have been talking about for such a long time. We have the highest incarcerated people. Here we are, the minority in this country, but yet the majority incarcerated. And that really speaks such volumes. And even now you have an opportunity to look at the history of what has been happening since the indigenous people and the people of the African diaspora were enslaved, the challenges that they endured for hundreds of years, the systemic racism, the absolute criminal behavior. I believe that that is the reason why you have 50 states in America that participated in this protest and 18 countries who also participated in the protest to say Black Lives Matter, for God's sake. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives what?
One of the reasons that I'm in education is because, I think it's extremely important that our educational curriculum is inclusive and based on historical facts. When we look at how our children are being educated, when we look at how the misinformation, the miseducation, it's retraining, re-educating, and being conscientious of the words that we use when doing so. So if our children knew that Christopher Columbus, for example, in America didn't really discover America, or if they understood the reason that America is the leader of the free world and all of the accolades that it has, was because the country was built on the backs of the indigenous people and people of the African diaspora. It was because of these people that we have the opportunity to call this place in America our home. We know that the founding of civilization, rich, colorful, thriving civilizations, began in Africa. Man began there. So there's a way to write the stories and be honest so that we're honoring them instead of pitying and despising them, making sure that our children, all of our children, have the opportunity to know that they're worthy of love, that they're worthy of quality education, that they're worthy of participating in the global economy. Both my father and my mother said that this generation will no longer fear the oppressor. The next generations were going to rise up because they will recognize that the people in power have misused power. And no one wants to live like this. We've had enough time to process what has actually happened to our ancestors. We saw nonviolent young people marching and dogs biting their skin, and we're singing "We Shall Overcome." The young generation is not singing "We Shall Overcome." The young generation is like, no, wait a minute. We're not standing for this. So my message to the young people who are out protesting is organize amongst yourselves. There are so many people that you're meeting out there that you can connect with at a touch of a button on the internet. Organize, stay in touch, because we have to make sure that we have itemized goals, measurable goals. We want to make sure when the marching, the protest, and the demonstrating is over, that we can still remain connected and organized with strategies. What is it that we want to accomplish? Let's put a checklist together. How are we going to go about accomplishing these goals? I think that is the most important thing, so that 50 years from now, we do not find ourselves here in the same space as we were 50 years ago when my father was alive. So we want to make sure that we accomplish these goals that even the civil rights movement set out to accomplish.